Where there's Westbrook at number 30. I would have Westbrook a bit higher. I mean, it's tough, right? Like, if he's going to be what he was for the Rockets in that one stretch, then he's like a top 15 guy. If he's going to be what he was in the other times for the Rockets, then, number 30 might not be crazy. I would have him a bit higher, though. It seems like I've backed myself into being a Westbrook fan with how much I don't even know if I defend him that much, but I still find myself being optimistic about him and the Wizards. And, you look at some guys like Jrue, I'd put Westbrook above, which, some people might say, what defense and stuff? I know, but, Westbrook's probably going to average like 25, 7, and 7 this year or something. I would have Westbrook above Morant. I think Jamal Murray's going to take a big jump, so maybe I wouldn't have Westbrook over him, but I also wouldn't have Murray at 27. I think Westbrook better than Middleton. I think I would put Westbrook above Middleton because Middleton hasn't been as good in the playoffs, and for this previous postseason with Russ, I think that was more to do with the quad and testing positive than him not being good. I'll tell you this, I would put him above Siakam, who I still think was overrated quite a bit in this thing. 31 Kyrie. So a healthy Kyrie Irving is probably like the 10th best player in the league because he's, like 25 points a game on great efficiency and stuff. I guess where I fall is if Kyrie's healthy and he doesn't have shoulder problems or knee problems or anything, then put him above like everybody. But I would still have Kyrie considerably higher. I mean, I think you have to take the injury concerns into account, but I would still have him above a few more dudes. LeBron number 1, it's fine. Nobody disagrees with that one. Giannis at number 2. I think I'd go Kawhi number 2, honestly. And yeah, I know what happened in the Denver series, but I'd still lean Kawhi. Giannis in that Heat series, game 1 he has like 18 points. Game 3 he goes 0 for 7 from 3. And that stuff matters. Like, sure, some of it's Budenholzer's fault for not having the most active half-court offense. Also, Budenholzer doesn't play Giannis enough in the playoffs. But, some of that's got to fall on Giannis, too. So I would have Kawhi there. Also, I will say, if KD's healthy, I would have KD number 2. So, for what that's worth. Luka at 3, I would not have Luka this high just yet. I would put Steph above Luka. I would have Kawhi above Luka. I know he was amazing against the Clippers. I know. But, it's not crazy to predict that he'll pass guys up this season. 4, Harden. Would I have Luka over Harden? I'm not as against that as I am having other guys behind Luka. Like, I would still have Steph above James and Luka. I would have Kawhi above them. I would have Giannis above both of them. This is a bit of a thing. Jokic at 7, Anthony Davis at 8. I would flip those. Yeah, so they have KD at number 10. And to me, that's like a placeholder where you don't really know what to do with them. I think that's fine. Again, if KD's back to being KD, I would have him number 2. Tatum at 11, I think, is like a little high, a little bit. I think I would put Jimmy above Tatum. Embiid at 13. I think it's fair to have Tatum above Embiid right now. We got Simmons at 14, Devin Booker at 15. 2 very different players. Maybe becomes the best defender in the league this year. One of the best passers. Booker way better as a shooter. I think it's fine to have them next to each other. As far as which one actually is above whatever, I don't really mind. I feel like some people might be like, wait, what? How is Simmons better than Booker? But Ben Simmons is really good. I don't know what to tell you. I think it's interesting to have Towns at 18 and Bam at 17. Also very different players. I think I would still have Towns above Bam. I know the playoff success and the defense definitely in Bam's part, but I mean, to me, Towns, like, he's just so amazing on offense. I'm willing to look past some of that stuff. I mean, the guy's like one of the best shooters in the league, and he's 7 feet tall. I think that matters. In fact, I'm high enough on Towns to where I would have Towns above probably Paul George at 16 as well. Apologies to Paul George. Now, we have Trae Young at 20, and we have Siakam at 19. I think both of these are like a little much. I think Beal at 21 can be above both of those two. With Trae, it's the defense. With Siakam, it's the playoffs against the Celtics, pretty much. I would have Chris Paul not only above... I would actually have Chris Paul a lot higher. Like, to me, Chris Paul is still around number, 15 or so. So I would have Chris Paul still above Trae and Beal and Siakam and PG and probably Towns as well. Like, Chris Paul, the guy just makes you win, man. Like, yeah, he's not going to average as many points as other guys, but the all-around game is just still so good. Gobert at 23, maybe a little lower for Gobert. I think Mitchell will surpass Gobert this season. I would put Mitchell above Trae as well as Siakam. I think Mitchell's going to take a decent jump after what he did in the bubble. 25, Lowry. Similar to Chris Paul, I think the all-around game pushes him above a few guys. Again, I Siakam. I think Lowry's the best player on the Raptors. I would have Lowry above Trae Young, which some people might think is crazy, but like he's really good. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the guy was putting up 20 points and 7 assists and still awesome on defense as the Raptors had injuries and they were still one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference last season. And then against the Celtics, he averaged 21, 6, and 6 on 56% true shooting. I think even in the context of being underrated, Kyle Lowry is still underrated, if that makes any sense. I would probably have Lowry above Beal as well. I don't know, man. If you think I'm crazy for the Kyle Lowry takes, I do this all the time. I don't know what to tell you. Like, if you're not on the Kyle Lowry train by now, it's already gone. It's left the station. I'm sorry. So Murray at 27. I would have Murray above Middleton. I would have him probably above a couple other guys that I've mentioned, like Siakam. I would put Murray above. Ja Morant at 28. I think that's fair for Ja. Jrue Holiday at 29. I don't really have a take on that one. I think it's fair. Let's see. Jaylen at 32. I am a fan of this one, but I might not agree with it depending on who else is behind him. Zion at 33. See, I would have Zion over Jaylen. I have to do that. And by the way, as I did in that ESPN video, I would have Zion a whole lot higher in this thing. I would have Zion in the top 20. If that, feel free to disagree, but he's great. He's already dropping 30-point games in the preseason. So who would I have Zion above? Yes. I mean, I would have Kyrie higher. So for what that's worth, Zion over Westbrook, yes. Jrue, yes. Ja, yes. Jamal Murray, yes. Middleton, yes. Like, I'm all in on Zion. I just am. The Ingram at 34. I mean, I would probably have Jaylen behind Ingram. I don't think it's super far off between those two, but Ingram should be a little higher than Jaylen to me. Where is Shea? Is Shea worse than De'Aaron Fox? He's probably a little worse than De'Aaron Fox. CJ at 36. Look, I'm all in on the don't trade CJ thing, and even I think this is a little much. I also think this is a little much. DeAndre Ayton at 37. I don't agree with this one. I would have DeAndre and CJ a bit lower. Okay, so there's Shea at 30. I would have Shea above DeAndre Ayton, which I'm sure Suns fans will view as disrespectful, but that's fine. I would have Shea above CJ. I would not have Shea above De'Aaron Fox. Although maybe I should. Maybe the NBA is just this talented now to where you get to number 38 and you're still talking about guys who average 20 points a game. Porzingis at 39. Porzingis should be way higher, but it's all the injuries. I'm pretty consistent on this. If Dallas is going to be great, it's because Porzingis is healthy. And I don't trust that he can be healthy. Vucevic at 40, no. Sabonis at 41, maybe. And Kemba's better than both of those guys, so there you go. Although, again, with Kemba, it's the health. But if Kemba's healthy, then he's better than Sabonis, he's better than Vucevic. I mean, now I'm comparing Kemba healthy versus Porzingis healthy. Porzingis is better. I don't know, it gets confusing. Eventually, it's like, I don't remember who I have where. But if Kemba's healthy, then definitely higher. But, you know, it's the knee problems. Oladipo, 43, I think that's fair given his situation. Jaren Jackson, 44. Is that a little optimistic? Maybe not. I mean, the guy became a real three-point shooter this previous season. If he figures out the rebounding, then he doesn't have a whole lot of weaknesses. So now we have Draymond at 47. I don't know how to feel about this. I acknowledge its existence. I don't think it's crazy, but I also think it's a little crazy. I don't know what to do with this one. And when I say crazy, I mean in the sense of like it might be too positive. Miles Turner, 48. He definitely allows the Pacers to be a good defensive team every regular season. 49 Van Fleet, cool. Where is my guy? Here we go, Gordon Hayward. Every time I do this, I got to be on my Gordon Hayward watch. I think if Hayward was healthy, I'd have him above a few dudes here. Because, you know, like a healthy Hayward, 20 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. It's really, really solid. Very efficient player. And a better playmaker than a few dudes. Like, I don't think I would have Hayward above Van Fleet, though. The advanced stats actually suggest that Van Fleet's a little overrated. I would have Hayward probably still below him a little bit. I would have Hayward above Turner. above Draymond, above, maybe not, Zach LaVine's got to be higher, actually. Zach LaVine should be a bit higher here. I would have LaVine above Collins, above Jaren Jackson, and I acknowledge Jaren Jackson, like, he might defend a whole bunch of positions and that sort of thing. I think Oladipo is not as safe of a bet as LaVine, so I would have LaVine above him. I think similar things with Kemba. I would put LaVine above Kemba. I would have LaVine above Sabonis, above Vucevic, above Porzingis because of the health. Maybe not Shea. But I would have Shea above Aiden, so yeah, we got a little carried away there. The point being is, I would have LaVine a bit higher, and I would have Hayward a little bit higher. And then after that, I don't really care. Shout out to Blake Griffin, who, if he's healthy, is like way higher on the list. Yeah, and that's it.